Hello Reds fans, welcome to the latest news and transfer updates from Liverpool this Tuesday. But first, make sure you subscribe to the channel, so you can stay connected with us and not miss any Reds news. Liverpool could have something new before the transfer window closes on Friday, April 30th. ESPN has learned that the English club is considering the purchase of Italian striker Federico Chiesa from Juventus. In early August, the 26-year-old was close to being bought by Barcelona for €13 million. However, the deal did not materialize and opened the way to interest from Liverpool. Chiesa has a contract with Juventus until the end of the current season and has suffered repeated physical problems. The main one was in January 2022, when he was out for 10 months after tearing the cruciate ligament in his left knee. Despite his physical problems, Chiesa is attracting the attention of Liverpool for his versatility and could be the club's first reinforcement for manager Arne Slot, Jurgen Klopp's replacement. Liverpool prepare offer for Jarrad Branthwaite. The Daily Express reports that Liverpool are preparing a surprise offer for defender Jarrad Branthwaite. He belongs to Everton and has an uncertain future at the British club for the rest of the season. The Reds executives believe he would be a great option to form their defense and are considering moving forward with the values. At the moment there is still no information on how much they want to pay for the arrival of the defender. Manchester United came very close to signing him and even offered around €90 million. However, they reversed their decision and signed the young French defender Leny Yoro for a lower figure. With this, the Liverpool board sees an open path to acquire him permanently and must move forward with this. According to the source, the Reds are expected to make an offer for the athlete in the final days of the transfer window. Crystal Palace bracing for potential Liverpool interest in Ebereki Eze. Crystal Palace are bracing for Liverpool's interest in Ebereki Eze ahead of the transfer deadline, according to The Independent. Manchester City and Arsenal are also eyeing the 26-year-old England star. Valued at over $79 million, £60 million / Euro 71 million, that figure hasn't put off some of the Premier League's biggest clubs. Crystal Palace have already lost Michael Ollis this summer and could still sell Mark Gahey to Newcastle. Gordon transfer admission Eddie Howe admitted he cannot yet guarantee that Newcastle's key players will be at the club when the transfer window closes in less than a week. Anthony Gordon has been the subject of Liverpool speculation, with a deal agreed for the boyhood fan earlier in the summer, only for Newcastle to seemingly address their concerns over PSR in other ways. Meanwhile, many have suggested Bruno Guimaraes would be a good addition at Anfield too. "I've been around the game too long to make those statements," Howe said after the draw against Bournemouth. "What I will say is that for myself and for the club we will do everything we can to keep our best players, but I'm not a fortune teller. As managers we've learned to live with that in this world because we have to. But it's not ideal, there's a lot going on." Trent Alexander-Arnold was not happy about being substituted during Liverpool's 2-0 win over Brentford, and Arne Slot has offered a more than reasonable explanation for his decision. The Liverpool vice-captain put in another fine performance against the Bees, creating the most chances for and also winning all 3 ground duels, according to FOT Mob. He continued to venture further up the pitch, but still played wide, with Slot explaining after the game that he wants him in dangerous positions in and around the goal and in crossing positions. Alexander-Arnold's performance was full of his trademark passing and he made no mistake. Although he was substituted in the 72nd minute, it was clear as day that he was not happy. Cameras were shown Slot speaking to the 25-year-old on the bench shortly afterwards, and with the focus on the right-back's disgruntled reaction, the topic came up in his press conference. "He didn't seem so happy after he was taken off, you mean?" Slot clarified when asked about the no. 60SIXS reaction. "I understand. Every player wants to play 90 minutes, but I don't think the players who were on the bench from the start were really happy with the choice I made. Trent came back from the national team, where at the beginning of the tournament he played a lot and then he didn't play anymore. He had a few weeks off, he came back and it's only his 3rd game and we have to look after him. We need him for the whole season and not just the first 2 games. The good thing for me is that I also have a great backup in Connor, which means we're looking after Trent, but he had a good game." Alexander-Arnold also looked irritated after the final whistle, gesturing to friends in the main stand as he walked off the pitch. It's understandable that he wants to play every minute, but as his manager stressed, Liverpool need him for the whole season, not just the first few games. Virgil van Dijk and the future are 2 things that are becoming a concern for many Liverpool fans. The Dutchman has less than 12 months left on his current contract, and until his future is sorted out, the question will remain as to whether he will lead the players at the start of next season. "He is relaxed, at least that makes him one of us. I am very calm," Van Dijk told Sky Sports. "I want to play the best season I can again. I want to be important and continue to be important for the club this year. Whatever happens next year, we will see. Everything happens for a reason, that's how I see it. There has been no change in my situation, but I am very calm about it, there is no reason for me to sit down and start thinking about anything else because I have the whole season to play. I hope it will be a success." Following Liverpool's 2-0 win over Brentford, Jamie Carragher attempted to explain why the atmosphere at Anfield felt strange, but that it's not always a bad thing. Liverpool's performance was assured in just their second game under Arne Slot, with the drama and spillage of last season nowhere to be seen as the Reds won their first home game of the season. The oft-lauded Anfield atmosphere was not at its best at times throughout the game, as Liverpool kept possession and wore Brentford down. Carragher told Sky Sports that he found the atmosphere strange today, given it's the first home game of the season. Writing as someone who was in the upper main stand on Sunday, it was far from the quietest we've heard in recent years, but there was a sort of routine aspect to it all after scoring early. Carragher reflected, "Is it something to do with the style of play that's going to be different under Jurgen Klopp? It's not going to be as end-to-end. So maybe there's something to it? I don't know, it just seemed like a strange atmosphere. You'll Never Walk Alone was special as ever and the cop was in a high voice for example, but with ticket shortages for many and Mother Nature blowing a gale, much of the crowd were happy to watch events unfold as spectators rather than supporters. The other thing I would say is that last season was a bit of a roller coaster for Liverpool fans and it was very exciting," Carragher continued. "You were coming out of the game after a last-minute winner or coming from behind. It felt like every game was almost like a cup final." Another former Liverpool defender, Stephen Warnock, made a similar observation, adding, "It's not a basketball game anymore. This isn't the same kind of game, it's more of a chess game." That could well be a positive for Liverpool however going forward, Carragher added, "Liverpool needed more games like that 2-0 last season, they needed more games like that. It was almost like a Man City performance because the game looked over as soon as the second goal went in. It didn't look like there was much danger in the game. And again, I don't think Arne Slot's Liverpool will be as exciting as Jurgen Klopp's, it's almost impossible. It's going to be different under Arne Slot and I'm interested to know or feel as the months go by how that affects the atmosphere and the type of support that comes in because it seemed like a strange atmosphere but it's going to be a bit different. But who knows? It could be even more successful if not more so, because I say last season, the way Liverpool played, they couldn't keep it going. Falling behind, getting last-minute goals, it wasn't sustainable." Jamie is right. Last season was a high-energy season for everyone involved. Every game put you through the mill and ultimately Liverpool didn't have the capacity to keep it going until the end. Hopefully, despite a reduced squad, Slot's more reserved methods will pay dividends in April and May. Liverpool striker Diogo Jota has had a great start to the season, scoring the first goal of the Arne Slot era at Ipswich Town and then setting up Luis Diaz to score against Brentford. Jamie Carragher is a big fan. When you actually look at the goals-to-minutes ratio, he's up there with the best of the Premier League era with Liverpool, Carragher said on Sky Sports yesterday, transcribed by Rousing the Cop. You think about some of the strikers Liverpool had in that era: Robbie Fowler, Michael Owen, Fernando Torres, Luis Suarez, Mo Salah as well. So that shows the company he's keeping. You think about Liverpool spending a lot of money on Darwin Núñez, at the moment he's on the bench. But you think about what happened at Ipswich, he gave them a chance. Initially he missed a header that most of the time he would normally score. The second chance he scores, and that's what Jota is all about. You give him a chance, most of the time he finishes. And he scores all kinds of goals. Fantastic in the air, can score with both feet, that's why he has such good numbers. And you fan, in your opinion, which of these players is the best acquisition for Liverpool? Comment below, leave your like, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any news about the Reds.